Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are going to start now. Welcome to a very special event. It promises to, like before I proceed, can you confirm if you can hear me?
Loud and clear.
I don't know if you get what I'm talking about. What you are doing now, you are seeing it as my age. I'm not so.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, welcome everyone to the special event, Beyond Coding. And we have with us here Ibrahim. I am Wizard Olaniwaju, the community manager here at Products, and I am beyond excited to be your host today again. So whether you are a seasoned professional or just starting your tech journey, this event is designed to inspire, inform, and elevate your career. So today we'll just be delving into the realm that extends beyond coding, just like the name. We'll explore how we can market our skills right to elevate our tech career, and the insights and strategies shared here can open new doors. So regardless of where you are in your professional journey. Our speaker for today our speaker for today needs no elaborate introduction. He's the visionary founder of NoCode, a startup that empowers creators to bring their ideas to life without the hassle of learning to code. It goes by the name Ibraheem Zulkifil. Please join me to welcome the incredible Ibraheem. It will be our guide through this intricacies of marketing our skills for career success. So please join me in welcoming. You can just drop a reaction, let him know that we are all here for him and we are here to listen to what he has to say, what he has to share with us. So Ibraheem, if you can hear me, you have the floor.
Hi. Hello. Thank you very much, Azizat, for the introduction. Thank you very much. Nice meeting everyone on the call today. Real quick, my name is Ibraheem Zulkifil. I'm the founder of NoCode Academy and NoCode for Startups. Quick introduction. Basically, the reason why we're doing NoCode Academy is basically because I've run, code bootcamp for 5 years plus, right? And I've seen, the challenges, right? And then the reason for NoCode Academy is to, bridge the gap between, how people approach innovation today, right? And at the same time, helping creators, founders, entrepreneurs to scale more without the, of learning how to code, even when it comes to building products, right? So nice meeting everyone. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you so much for the quick introduction.
Oh, as it starts, what's the setting here? Am I supposed to continue?
You can continue. You have the floor. You can continue.
I wasn't able to hear you clearly. Can you come again, please?
Okay, I said you can continue. You have the floor. Feel free to speak.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you very much. So the topic is beyond coding and how to sell your skill in order to thrive as a techie, right? As we all know that coding is not enough. Of course, I say a lot of people, I think about 5 years back, right, there are a lot of people that just want to learn how to code, right? I was once a developer myself. I've done PHP, what's it called, .NET, and then we built a couple of products, right? But at the same time, when we work at different organizations, right? So we realize that knowing how to code is not enough, right? There are a lot of things that goes, at the back. Most especially why we are, I'm doing consulting, right? So because we're meeting people every day, people with different background, and then you have to like what is going to actually help you is transferable skills, right? So, but let's go back to I think someone mic is now muted. Okay, great. So I meet a lot of people every day, right? And then a lot of techies, either you are a, developer or you're a product manager or you're a community manager, or you're a designer or whatever. And then when, I ask them, what do you do? Right. So I realized that a lot of people feel at, answering that question, because that question is an opportunity for you to showcase your skill, and is an opportunity for you to let people know what you do, right? So that you can leave an impression, right? And then let's take, for instance, when you ask a graphic designer that, hey, what do you do? So the person is going to answer like, I'm a graphic designer, I know this, I know Figma, I know After Effects, I know this too. Or if you approach a developer, now it's going to tell you how I'm a JavaScript developer. Oh, now I'm a PHP developer, stuff like that. So, and then we now need to understand that whatever your skill.
Sorry for being really short. Can you turn on your camera? Our audience would like to see what you look like so they can.
Okay. Okay, great.
Thank you.
So, can you see my face now?
Yes, you can.
Okay, great. So, when when I approach people like developers, they be like, I'm a JavaScript developer. I know this stack. I know this database, tool. I do this and that, right? And then, you are not leaving an impression that way, right? You realize that, the person that you are talking to, maybe the person is not even technical. He doesn't even know anything about JavaScript. This person doesn't know anything about Figma or all the design tools you are using as a designer, right? So you now needs to like understand that you do not only need your coding skill at that point. What you need is to sell yourself, right? And that is the best way to thrive in tech. Because when you approach someone and be like, I am a developer, right? And what I do is to help business owners, service provider to, scale by helping them with web solutions that's going to showcase their product or their business to millions of people globally and help them times 100 their, current sales skill. That way, you are leaving an impression. You are telling them what you do. You are not just telling them your, coding stack. They don't care if you are a main stack. They don't care if you are doing .NET. They don't care about your, coding stack. What they care about is how can you solve my problem? How can that your skill actually solve my problem? And that's what they want to know, right? And then if you express yourself that way, anytime these people want to, let's say they want to build an
Ibrahim, sorry, we can't hear you. Can you unmute?
oh my God. So I didn't know I was muted. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, so let me go back. Yeah. When you tell people that you are a coder, or you're a programmer, you know JavaScript, you write PHP or you write Java. You are not leaving an impression to them, all right? You are just telling them your stack, and they don't know anything about your stack. They are not technical, most especially when, I've been doing consulting for 5 years now, and then I understand, I come across this every time. When I meet someone for the first time, I don't want to tell them that I'm a developer. I need to tell them that I help business owner, service provider to do this, to scale your business by providing you website or web application or mobile application. right? Whenever they want to remember me, they are going to remember, oh, this guy that help business owner, that help entrepreneur, that help creators do stuff. That is the best way to actually leave an impression to people you are meeting. And then that is the best way you can try. Because now, look at it. We have thousands of techies out there. We have thousands of developers out there. We have thousands of product managers out there. We have thousands of program managers. But, the best way that you can actually sell yourself is not seeing yourself as a developer, but seeing yourself as a salesperson. Because every day it's an opportunity for you to sell yourself. It's an opportunity for you to sell your brand. And that is what people is going to know you for, right? Imagine you're meeting an entrepreneur. Let's say you're meeting Dangote and good afternoon, sir. I'm a developer. I write JavaScript. I'm a very crazy JavaScript writer. I can write 10,000 lines of code in 24 hours, and I can even deploy this into Amazon. I can scale it. It's going to look at you like, no. But when you approach Dangote and then they give you an opportunity to talk to Dangote for 1 minute, what do you want to tell Dangote? You as a developer, yes, sir. Hi, I'm a developer. And what it means is that I can help you scale your business globally. And I can, build a solution whereby people can order all your products, right? Without leaving their room, and then it's going to get to them wherever they are globally. And that way you can times 100 your existing, sales volume. Dangote is going to be excited because you are providing him value. You are telling him what you could do with your skill and how you can actually help him. So whenever Dangote, is somewhere and then you want to okay, I think I have to build an e-commerce solution for our product, right? So he's going to remember you. But when you tell him you write JavaScript, you write Java, you write PHP, not going to remember all that, So that is it. Always see yourself as a sales person, even though body every opportunity that's going to allow you to introduce yourself and sell yourself, sell your brand, right, to people. So I think that is some kind of a way where I think a lot of developers, techies make mistake, right? They are so confident about what they can do technically, but you showcase transferable skills. I think it was early this morning. I was working on a product, and a fintech product with a client of mine. This person has worked at NASA, right? And then he relocated to Nigeria, and then we met at an event, and then we started working on a product because someone introduced me to him, and we are building this product with NoCode solution. And then I realized that he gave me access to one of his AWS accounts, right? And then when we deploy, everything is working fine, but we're spending 0.17 USD per hour on AWS, right? And then I have to message him early today that, sir, I know this is working fine, but there's an alternative we could use that is going to work perfectly fine, and then we're going to spending around $15 per month. And he was so excited. Guy, Ibrahim, let me see, what's that? And then we migrated from AWS to VPS server, and it's working fine. So the next time, because that's not going to be the only project or the only product you're going to be working together with. So the next time, you understand I'm not only interested in his money, I'm also interested in same skill, and at the same time interested in, for him not to spending unnecessarily fun. So you as a developer or as a techie, you are going to be meeting people every time. Make sure you are not only interested in what you can quickly get from them. When they see you as a problem solver, is going to be a very, very skill for you, because that is the best way you could try. Imagine someone that gave you $5,000 project, and then you show some kind of transferable skill, like the person see you as a problem solver, because I actually solve this problem. Imagine someone that is spending almost $155 per month to spending $15 per month, right? So that is problem solving skill, and then ability to work with the team. I give a lot of people come to me, right? Most especially when I was doing 8 to 5. So because I have a very amazing impression, I have I just left my 9 to 5 to say, oh, I think I have to build my stuff, right? And then they reach out to me every time. Hi, Ibrahim, we need a developer, or we need a product designer and stuff like that. So I recommended someone which is amazing Python developer, but honestly, just less than 2 months, this person was sacked, right? He was fired. And then when I have to jump into, oh, what was the issue? I realized that he doesn't have that teamwork spirit. Imagine, you know, like I used to tell a lot of people, you can get job with your technical skill. Yes, you are an amazing developer, right? You can get job with that skill. But the best way, the only way you can keep that skill, I mean, that job is by, having transferable skill and having soft skills, right? So this person cannot work with the team. Imagine you are supposed to drop an update about what you're working on, and then you wanted to wait for till when you are totally done with the feature you are working on before you report to your line manager. And he was fired just because of that. So again, the best way you can thrive as a techie or as a developer is also to have a transferable skill. And what are these transferable skills? Ability to work with a team, your communication skill, your problem solving skill, right? Because these are the best way, to see yourself, to have like an added value to you. As we have thousands of developers, you need to have something that they are going to know you for. They're not going to remember you only as a developer, right? They're still going to remember that guy, the way that guy speak is very amazing. Oh, I was listening to this guy while he was presenting, and I really, really love it. I think we need to have that guy in our team. So your coding skill is not enough, and it has never been enough. And then think about it. There's different way people are building stuff today. We are building we recently launched a bubble app that have about 6,000 active users. We do not write a single line of code, meaning that the world is moving, right? A lot of things are changing. Your coding skill is not actually enough. But as a developer, you can still make a lot of money if you have value-added advantages. Thank you very much, Asisat. I think this is 20 minutes after 6 actually, but if maybe we can make it interactive by Q&A, stuff like that. I don't know.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Yeah.
Questions, and thank you so much, Ibrahim. But before I pass the mic to the audience, so I have my own questions, because I saw your post and I was really, really moved by that. And yeah, instead of just saying I'm a designer, I'm a community manager, you mentioned you should sell yourself. But while selling yourself, I would love to know, how can you sell yourself without coming off as overly self-promotional? Do you get, like, when you're selling yourself to people, you want them to, like, there should be a balance. How can we balance that? Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. So I think the best way is just to be yourself, right? You don't want to, let's say you're attending a networking event, right? And that is, I think that is I have a lot of people ask me that question, how do I network? How do I talk to people? How do I tell what I do to people? Just be yourself and don't fake it, right? Imagine if you are meeting me for the first time, if I'm meeting you for the first time, right? I do a lot of things. Yeah, if you are doing consulting, you would definitely do a lot of things. I'm going to, approach you. Hi, Asisat, my name is Ibrahim. And then what I do is basically I build e-commerce solution, for people globally to scale their online business, right? I would love to have your contact. I believe, we have things in common, and I would love to, that is it. Simple, straightforward. And that is the best way you could actually sell yourself. And everybody, believe me, everybody actually want to sell themselves, because what you're doing actually need your service. Like I used to tell people that okay, am I still? Joel, I think you want to say something. Hello?
You can just go ahead. You can go ahead.
Okay, great. So just make it simple, and then don't, just be yourself. like be genuine about, why you are introducing yourself and then what you want people to know about you. Basically, that's it. Yeah. You are muted actually. Asisat, you are muted.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much for the answer. I'm sure other people have questions they want to ask Ibrahim. So if you have a question, just indicate by raising your hand and you can ask your question. Does anyone have a question? I'm sure Ibrahim has spoken and one or two that you'd like to ask him.
Okay. Hello everybody. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ibrahim. My name is Joseph Moran. Just want to go direct to the my question. So I I need a very practical answer because I have an event that I will be called to do a little presentation. So I'll use that medium to um, talk about myself. And so much thank God, I believe this very training is actually for me. This session is actually for me because I've learned a lot from what the question you just answered now. So I want you to make it practical for me. I'm a brand designer and a UI UX designer. So I do brand identity and also do some visual design. Now, how am I gonna tell these people use that because what they actually gave me, there's a particular brand company I want to talk about. I want to talk about them and why people should join their platform. So I want to use that to also sell myself as a
Okay.
graphic designer and UI UX designer. How I do website design as
Okay.
well. So how am I gonna make it interactive? Because people need something that will draw their attention and
Of course.
get to after that, yeah. After that they will like, I think that he has what I'm looking for. So how am I gonna be so persuasive? That's my question.
Thank you very much for that. The best way, right, to actually do that, you are going to be presenting a brand identity for a particular company, and at the same time, you want to let people know what you do. You build websites. You're also a UI/UX designer. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I think the best way to actually go about that is to be a storyteller. uh if you are a storyteller, you leave a long-lasting impressions in people's mind. You are registering your image and what you do in people's minds. Be a storyteller. Look at how you can actually tell a story about what you do. Don't be interested in saying hybrid website. Don't be saying I'm a UI/UX designer, right? What is the story attached to UI/UX design? Why are you do you think companies are doing UI/UX before they're actually building the actual product? In 2009, 2010, when we were building web application, then we built web application with Dreamweaver. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, so in those days, right, when we build web application, right, we build robust application with Dreamweaver. We build with Firebase 6.0. We build with .NET, but we don't know anything about UI/UX then, right? But the way we are building, we build robust application, of course, right? But we don't no prototype. The only prototype we do is on paper, right? But it wasn't effective. Even at a point, we don't even do any prototype, just jump into writing, maybe Phoebe or .NET code, right? But today, a lot of things has changed, and you are going to believe me that we are having a lot of amazing products in the market today than 10 years ago, because we now have UI/UX designer. We now have, people that are doing user experience, people that are, actually in the flow process of what you want to build. Now, bring those things together to tell your story and why you think people should hire you as a UI/UX designer. And then at the same time, craft a story behind why businesses, entrepreneurs, service providers need websites and what website does for them. You can't approach me and say you're a website developer and then you know how to build website. What I'm going to ask you is, how do you intend to solve my problem with websites? Why do you think I need websites? Right? So those are the things you have to put together in form of story, right? And don't forget to crack jokes. Thank you.
All right. Very, very, very important. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that, Ibrahim. Yomi, I think you have a question for Ibrahim. Do you want to ask?
Okay, hi. Good evening. My name is Omar from. So I put the question in the chat because when you mentioned stories, I was thinking that okay, for you to properly communicate stories, I was thinking, would you go with using personas for that?
Thanks, Yomi. I think you can use persona for that, of course. So you just have to, let your story be engaging, and at the same time, let's use some simple terms that people are going to be able to relate with, like 100%. So, and that is it. So what you just want to achieve, right, is you can tell your own personal story, right? Why you are doing what you are doing. Is people going to really, really, love it. When I want to tell people why I am doing no code, right? Why I'm investing my time, my energy into building a no code kind of platform, right? I'm going to tell my personal story because I'm also a developer, and then I see why I don't have to spend 6 months building a web application that I can even do that, in, let's say, 3 weeks or 6 weeks. So I have to tell my personal story that attached to what I want to talk about, and it works. Or you can tell general story on why you think people should adapt or adopt what you have to offer them. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ibrahim. So does any other person have, Yomi, hope that answers your question. Right. Okay, yeah. All right. So does any other person have questions for Ibrahim? Anyone? Now is the time to ask. Okay, then. If there's no more question, I think we'll just round up. Thank you so much, Ibrahim, for honoring our invite and joining us today and sharing your insights with us. And to everyone that has joined us today, thank you so much to those that asked questions and to those that listened. I believe we've all taken one or two from what Ibrahim has said today. And we'll take it as our takeaway and be able to put that into our day-to-day professional life moving on. So you don't just tell yourself as, oh, this is what I do. Let people know how you can use it to help them. Okay, Abu Samad, I think you have a question. Okay, you can go ahead and ask.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the question. Yeah, I don't know if you could help us on CV writing tips, regarding CV writing. If you could give us some tips regarding it, we'll appreciate that.
Oh, okay. Honestly, I I was hiring for one of my community 2 months ago, and I got more than 1,000 CV, and I told my partner that we need to organize a CV review webinar because I was so pained with the level of people that people that you imagine someone that's a MSc holder and then applying for a job, and then you are so surprised the way they put a CV together, right? So I think this actually hinder the progress of a lot of applicants out there. You would think you don't have the skill. Maybe that's why they don't get back to you. And probably maybe 60% of the time because the way you put your CV together. Okay, pro tips. I think number one thing you shouldn't tell your CV the way the first thing, the way you save your CV, right? If I want to save my CV, Ibraheem Zulkifil full stack developer.pdf. That's I will see a lot of people saving their CV like my CV.pdf. Like, why? Because your CV is going to a pool, right? Thousands of people, and you have to let your name, your full name reflect, your skill reflect, right? And then that is it. So do not save your CV with my CV or use any other thing. Just save it with your full name and your skill. I think that's number one tip. Maybe number two tip is do not put your marital status on your CV. Do not put your date of birth on your CV. Don't even put your nationality on your CV, right? I remember when I was at Friendly, wanted to hire someone, wanted to hire two guys. No, one guy, but we shortlisted two. And then my land manager, I am a manager, so we are reviewing the CV and be like, oh, this guy, amazing skill. They have amazing experience, right? Oh, this guy is married. We have a lot of married people in the company already. Let's go for this person that is not married. And that is how we, you see, so nobody care about your marital status. If they don't ask you, don't talk about it. Nobody wants to know if you are from Lagos or if you are from Kwara, right? If they don't ask you, don't put it, right? Don't put that in your CV at all. So that I think that's another tip. And number three tip is that don't design your CV with too much, all this. I see a lot of people that design their CV with Figma. Don't do that. Why do you have to do that? Don't design with putting too much color or putting your picture in your CV. Is totally out of it. Use a simple template. Number one thing on your CV is going to be your name and your experience. My name Ibraheem Zulkifil, maybe full stack developer, and at the left side I have my phone number and my email. That's all. And then the next thing I want to see is professional summary, meaning that what I do. I'm a full stack developer with 10 years experience. Blah 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 blah. Maybe 3 lines, 4 lines is okay. Then the next thing is going to be your experiences, your working history. Maybe you want to add like 3 or 4, right? And then you want to have your where you've worked and then what you do. And at the same time, you want to have your maybe skills. And then maybe you want to have your stack. And the last thing you want to have your education, and that's it. And always ensure your CV is not more than 2 pages. If you can even make it 1 page, it's fine. Don't make it more than 2 pages. 3 pages, 4 pages is out of it, right? So that is it. Very simple. I wouldn't mind to give my what's it called? A template, right? Maybe it's going to help you. Yeah. But if you have a specific question in CV, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was very helpful. Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. Edima, you can go ahead and ask your question.
All right. Thank you very much. My name is Edima. A backend engineer, and my question is related to, let's say you want to break into a global market as a developer, right? And being a backend engineer, one of the major issues, unlike people who are designers and front-end engineers, very easy to display their work, right? But for backend engineers, you displaying your, let's say, APIs or your workflows and all that really doesn't give as much as an impact. Or will I say it's for some people they find backend to seem boring and sound boring. So my question is centered as to how do you break into the global markets with such a particular skill set that is grounded into backend?
Okay, thank you very much for that question, Dima. I told someone this line one day. I said one well-written article can make you go far than a well-written CV. The best way is to having an authority in backend engineering, right? Having an authority in the sense that let people know what you are doing and how you are solving problem with it. And one of the best way to do that is, contributing to open source projects, right? When I was at Premly, I organized something called Premly Open Source SDK. And then the developers that, participated, about 10 of them that participated, about 90% of them got job directly and indirectly by Premly, right? Do you know why? You are solving a global problem. Premly has global APIs that a lot of B2B companies are using, and then you contributing to that API shows that you are an expert and you have authority in that particular space, which is backend development. So we already have thousands of backend developers that write amazing backend infrastructure. We already have them. But now, how do you showcase yourself further? How do you let people know that, no, beyond that you're writing code, but you also understand the business of coding? Do you understand? The business of coding is beyond you knowing how to write code, right? And that way, you are showcasing yourself in an enterprise level, right? Because it is not all developer. Even if you can write crazy back infrastructure, do you understand how to actually scale an enterprise with your backend skill? So that is totally different thing. So please just ensure you are showcasing yourself more. You can even write an article about, optimizing backend, maybe optimizing API. You don't want to write about authentication only, but there are a lot of things that goes beyond inside authentication that make authentication more robust than ordinary authentication, right? So those are little things, those are the things that you should, be talking about. If you love writing, please adopt that. If it is video tutorial, maybe you love recording YouTube, do that. That is the best way to actually break into market. I have a lot of amazing friends that are doing backend, right? I have someone that does Go, right? And Rust. And then he was recently, laid off, right? And then when the best thing I've said, guy, I think you have to go into consulting and then write more about what you do. Because you just wake up one day and then you realize that you don't even have a job anymore, right? So the best way is to have an authority in that domain. Even if you are not hired, company can call you to come and say, oh, please, we want you to come and do this for us. Even though they are not hiring you full time, please. I think you should take note of that. Don't be 100% focusing on, I just want to get a full-time job or stuff like that. I don't know if I answered your question honestly, and if you can.
Yeah, it was really, really insightful. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Is you can ask your question, then Covenant will go after.
Okay, first off, good evening, everyone. Before I start, they're the same person. I will name myself so that you'd actually it's awkward to use a nickname here. But I'll just go into my question. You spoke at the end of your conversation, of your statement right now, you talked about how you asked your friend to go into consulting. I think that's something, if you could speak on your transition process, how someone can go from being just a developer / engineer, employee mindset to the more consulting side of things. Like, what was your story? How did you transition? How can someone else do it? That'd be amazing. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, Covenant. That is very deep, actually. Even though I was working full time, I think I left my 9 to 5 about 4 months ago, right? But before that time, I've been doing consulting since 2010, right? I've been doing consulting since 2010 professionally, and we make a lot of money, and then we meet quality people. But the best way, imagine you are a developer today, right? And then you want to you don't want your 100% job lifestyle to be attached to a particular company, because as it is now, companies are laying off on notice, and then you just wake up one day, you realize that you don't have a job anymore. the best way is transfer into solving a problem for particular domain. What I do, the first thing I did was offering e-commerce consulting for business owner globally. I know that a lot of people, there are a lot of web developer out there, but I want to pick a niche, e-commerce. And then I understand how Shopify works and how WooCommerce works. And then I'm offering this service to most especially US clients, right? Or I can build you a very robust e-commerce solution for your e-store, and then I'm going to just charge $2,000 for that, right? I make so much money doing that than generalizing myself as a web developer. Do you understand? So that is a consulting, and then you're gonna have like a brand agency, right? You have a brand agency, and then that is it. That way you can charge more. If you are going to get a project, if you're going to work with the client, and then maybe the client is going to pay $2,000, if you are an agency, you are going to charge $50,000 for the same thing with your full chest, because you are a company and you are consulting, and that is how it works, right? Number one. And number two, if you want to go fully into, say, you don't want to have an agency, you just want to be a solo person and then charge clients. I do the same thing with NoCode for startups, right? In 2023, in 2024, first week of 2024 that we're in, I already charged $500 just for talking about what I know about NoCode. I said to myself, I have a lot of amazing experience with building solutions with NoCode. And a lot of startup creators are building stuff. Okay, how do I tell them to pick my brain for 1 hour and get me paid $99? And I tested out, and then I've about 6 conversations with founders and entrepreneurs. And that is it. Like I said earlier, become an authority in that field. Like, just hold it, right? Just let people know that, no, whenever they want to talk about these things, you are the go-to person. And that is how you can actually start your consulting journey. Do you understand? When my friend got laid off, he's earning $110,000, right, per year. $110,000, and then he was laid off, and then I have to tell him, guy, you understand Go to a very amazing extent. You write Java very well. Now, design a simple landing page, right? Have calendar integrated. Boldly put your price there. You charge $200 just to talk about their infrastructure. And then what I have to design for him is that, hi, my name is Sofwan. I help startup to scale from this to this with amazing backend infrastructure. You're offering that infrastructure service to startups, and then they are paying you $200 just to have conversation with you. And then when they want to move further, and the first person this my friend got is actually $400 per hour job, right? $400 per hour, and they work for 3 months. Amazing, cool money, right? So the only reason why he was unable to charge $400 per hour is because he dominate that space. He's telling you that, no, when it's come to infrastructure, I am the person that can do it for you. And then he got the job, he did it very well, and he got paid. So I think we shouldn't focus on just say, oh, I want to work with company today. Honestly, I have a couple of friends that are working at Google, got laid off, right? But you have the skill already. So nobody can actually collect that skill from you. You already have it. Now extend it, leverage on it to make more money. Do you understand? I don't know if I answered your question, but thank you very much.
So essentially, if I'm to summarize and make sure I'm the right path, it's to pick a niche or identify the thing which you're incredibly good at, and then start charging for it. I guess the next follow-up question would be, how do you find people to charge for it? That's
how do I do what?
Follow-up question. How do you find people to charge? Like, anyone can make a website and then put your service or something. Is there a more what's the word I'm looking for right here?
How do you market
not market. Yeah, the getting clients. How do you get clients? Let's put it that way.
Okay. Like I mentioned, I've been in this space for a very long time. One of the first way that I get clients is through Rivera. When I wanted to leave the week I wanted to leave my 9 to 5, I sent a code email to people that I've worked with, right? That this is what I'm doing now, right? And then I can help them, I can help their startup founders, friends, to scale their enterprise with little amount of money. I was charging just 3,000 naira to build a simple MVP for you. And I call it No Code for Startups. And then before I know it, I got 4 people that's interested. I have conversation with them. And that is how I got my first about $16,000, right? So you can get through Rivera. But for you, if you don't have any existing network that you can leverage on, the best way, right, is to talk about it. A lot of people know amazing stuff, but they don't talk about it. Nobody even know what they are doing, right? You can leverage on social media, right? I have a good friend of mine, Hema on Twitter, is a Framer guy. He only does Framer. And I just told him, guy, you are designing with Framer. Now, sell your template. Go to Twitter, brand yourself properly, get Twitter verified, this thing, put it on your LinkedIn, put it on your bio that you are that Framer guy, and you can help startup founders to build an amazing, incredible website with Framer. And then you are a Framer expert. Always talk about Framer, guidelines, how they can scale with Framer, stuff like that. Just talk about it. And basically, what am I talking about? Content. And that is how this guy, I think there's more than 24 templates, which is $60, that's 24. And then through that, because people see that, you are building templates for consumption with Framer, you should be able to join our team, to build Framer for us. They consulted him and he was like, oh, I don't want to join anything full-time, but this is my range. And he's already designed a simple landing page that talk about his pricing. It started from $5,000 to $12,000. And that's how he got his first major Framer gig. So like I said, content, talk about it, write about what you're doing, right? You want to talk about how maybe the practicing. I have a friend that does only WordPress. If you go to this guy Twitter, everything he's talking about is WordPress. Whenever anybody want to talk about, maybe want to hire a WordPress guy, they would definitely hire him first before you that you call yourself a web developer. Of course, you're a web developer, you can actually know how to do WordPress, but they are going to trust that guy more because he always talk about WordPress, right? So that is it. Content, that's the only thing. We are in creator economy, and then the only thing that can make you go far is content. Either writing, either video, either shorts, either newsletter, content, just any form of content to sell yourself. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. That's what
Asisat, are we still in power?
Yes, we are. I said thank you, Brian. Thank you, Covenant. I think Celestina was raising her hand, also Gifty. So do you still want to ask your question? Or has the question been answered?
No, please.
Oh.
My question is, this one is a personal question. I'm a mechanical engineer, but recently I've had a passion for web development. And I've started something, YouTube videos, and I've started HTML, CSS. But sometimes I'm confused as to whether to quit the mechanical engineering side and then maybe just start all over in software engineering. Sometimes I'm confused, or maybe I should just
And anybody here, Gifty? I think I stopped hearing her.
Gifty, we can't hear you. I think your network might be unstable.
Okay, so what I was saying is, so currently I'm working as a mechanical engineer, specifically a maintenance engineer, but I have passion for coding, web development, and sometimes I'm confused whether to quit the mechanical engineering and then go full-time in software engineering? That's starting all over. Or should I just manage the two at the same time? Sometimes I'm confused. So since maybe, I don't know, maybe if you've changed careers before, I just need advice as to what to do. Should I just maintain the two or quit the engineering and go for software engineering, or quit the software engineering, go for mechanical engineering? I'm just confused.
Okay, Gifty, I've switched career about 4 times. So, of course, your career is not supposed to be straightforward, right? You have to enjoy the ride. So, trust me, you wouldn't want to quit mechanical engineering for now, maybe because to start learning coding is not easy, because you also need to get motivated, and then one of the motivation is getting fund. Like you have money to buy your next data, you have money to have like a proper laptop, you have money to just keep yourself, your mental state very okay, so that you can learn effectively. If you put your mechanical engineering, that means you're not going to be seeing, maybe money is not going to be coming for a couple of months. And then before you could say, oh, I'm now very good with coding, maybe it's going to take you between 6 months to 1 year, right? Or between 6 months to 12 months, right? And then I'm not even saying you are going to start making money, honestly speaking. So if you are interested and passionate about coding, fine, you can go for it. But maybe if you see a way to balance both of them together, maybe you want to be spending 4 hours to practice coding daily, and if it's not going to affect your, but ensure, the only thing I ask people if they want to switch like that, do you have someone that can actually pay for anything you need within this period, so that you're not going to be bothering your mind about, oh, I don't have money, or I need to get this and that. So that's it. Just make sure, I think you just need to answer that question first. Are you okay? Do you have someone that can finance you maybe for 1 year straight up? If the answer is yes, of course, you can quit mechanical engineering, right, and then focus on coding. But if the answer is no, I think you have to find a way to balance it, honestly. Yep.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you so much. So, Celestina, back to you. Do you still want to ask your question, or we're good?
Hi. Hello. Thank you. You've done a lot of talking and you've enlightened us. So, my question is, kind of have to, like, when you were talking about the CV, you made mention of the arranging of the name. When you were mentioning the name, let me say, John Doe. So you mentioned like John, John, then there's a dash, then the Doe. Is that necessary, or just John Doe, then PDF plus the role or the job title, as the case may be? And then also
I'm listening. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, okay. And then also you when someone asks about how they can showcase their skill as a backend engineer, you mentioned I've forgotten this thing now. Yeah, open source project, yes. So like joining those kind of projects now. So my question is, I've actually tried looking out for this project, but I really do not know how they come across it, and I do not know how to get it. And I don't think I don't think it works like you just go on GitHub, then you just start looking for those kind of projects or something. So I think I need a little bit of clarity on how you can get those kind of projects, because some projects you see the last they updated it like years ago. You can't just I don't know. So that's just my question. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Celestina. The first question, it's not necessary you put Ivan actually. You can say Celestina Ibrahim, right? You can now use Ivan, to separate, and then to separate, and you have you are not going to even write full stack developer. You can now write maybe Python full stack developer or Java full stack developer or Node full stack developer, and then your extension is going to be .pdf. So always make your CV PDF, right? PDF is cool. So that's it. Simple as that.
Okay, okay, because I do have mine as Celestina Amadi, then dash DevOps engineer, then PDF. So I just wanted to be sure if that I think was essential, because maybe the whatever the machine scanning through the
No, no,
first.
it's not essential. It's just like
Okay.
separator, you get it.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, thank you. I'll move to
So
the second.
open source projects, right? Every open source project you're seeing out there started by someone. Honestly, Linux is one of the most successful open source projects. WordPress is one of the most successful open source projects. And then it was started by individual. If you cannot see an open source project you can maybe start with, right? You can actually start your own open source project. For instance, you might want to kickstart maybe you want to start building a website, a web application for maybe for nursing moms in neighborhoods across Africa. That means a web application that helps nursing moms do some certain thing across Africa. Then you brand it. You want to make it open source. You want to make people get amazing, information, and then you want them to be able to perform a particular task, to actually relieve them or something. Depends on the kind of feature you want to integrate. And then make it open for people, developers, designer, writer, to jump on it and make it an open source. Do you understand? That is it. You already have an open source project. A friend of mine, Geeky Adams, launched an open source project recently, and it is actually a marketplace for APIs, fintech APIs products, meaning that you can easily go to that web portal to search for fintech APIs product that you can actually integrate in your own product. It's just creating. It's not even doing anything like that require robust. That's it. It's an open source. It solves problem, right? Because whenever I'm thinking about, oh, I need an API that can verify my BVN, and if you go there, you're going to see it there, and your problem is solved. So don't look at open source project as something that's very big. No, your contribution to open source is not supposed to be. When I was contributing to WordPress open source, right? The only thing I was doing, right, is content, and I was approved, right? I was just making sure that there are, up-to-date content on WordPress repository, and that's it for me. You are a open source contributor, because the reason why I'm saying this is that a lot of people think like before you can contribute to open source, you have to have like a robust knowledge of a particular programming language. No, you can contribute to open source as a writer, right? You can contribute to open source as a salesperson. Maybe you are evangelizing that open source evolution to a lot of people. You are also a contributor. So that's how it works. Did I answer your question?
Not exactly.
Okay, let's reform it. Let's reframe it.
Okay, so you did mention something about building. That did not answer the question, because
Okay.
I feel like if I am a DevOps engineer, I don't build website, I don't build anything. I maintain, I can help you do other things for me. Okay, so now I can't build one because I want to start up an open source. Well,
Yeah, I did not know. Sorry to cut you. I did not know you were a DevOps person,
no,
right?
I don't also think it's about the role of the individual. Like you said, sales, UI, UX. So a UI, UX now, you don't expect them to go and start building a full-blown app, not necessarily full-blown, or maybe MVP, so that other people can come join in. So I think
you
my
are getting it wrong.
question was on
I think you are getting it wrong. Maybe you are mistaking it. What I was talking about is if you are a developer, then you can say you want to build your own stuff, right? But if you are a designer, for instance, right, you might want to look for there are a lot of open source projects, right? You might search for open source projects, and say you want to improve the UI of that project. And if you are a dev person, you might want to look for a existing open source project and say, oh, I want to contribute to this project by managing your infrastructure for you. And that is it. Do you understand? So now maybe where you are making what's it called? Where you need support is how to actually get an open source project to contribute to. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes, yes,
great.
yes.
Okay, so maybe I can help you, but maybe not today. I can help you create list of open source projects, but there are thousands of open source projects actually. So I can maybe help you create list of open source projects, and then you're now going to see the list of the one that you feel like, oh, you can, contribute to, and that is it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. More
You're
like it. Yes, thank you very much.
As if that it's actually time for Solati, yeah? So I have to go for prayer. Thank
Hello,
you.
hello, Ibrahim. Can you hear me? Are you there?
Oh, I'm here.
Okay, this is Lamide. Apologies, I need to rename myself. Okay, so thank you so much for your time. I actually learned a lot from this session, right? We appreciate your time. We do not take it for granted. I don't think there's any more questions, so we'll just round up. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Do you have any closing words for us? Do you have any closing remarks for us? Just a word of advice, you know.
Okay, from myself.
Yes, please. Do you have any closing words for us because we're rounding up now?
Okay, great. Thank you, Lamide. I think basically we are all learning, right? And then we are all trying to, build stuff, make the world better one way or the other. And then one of the key things for me is whatever you want to do, start doing it now, right? Just start doing it now. Don't don't let perfection, hinder your progress. Don't feel like, oh, I have to write robust business plan before I could launch this startup, or I have to go and learn how to code before I could launch this startup, or I have to get thousands of, any amount of money. So like Mark Zuckerberg said, he said ideas doesn't come fully formed. So, they continue to become clearer when you continue working on them. So whatever you want to do, please start doing now. Just start anyhow. And then along the way, start asking people for help, start asking questions, and then you are going to get more clarity on it. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you. I will hold that one right there. Thank you so much, Ibrahim, for joining us. We appreciate your time. Everybody do enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for joining in. We appreciate you for joining in. Thank you. Okay, very quickly. Hi, William. Hi, Faith. I
Hi,
was going to
Lamdi.
introduce William and Faith.
It's
Okay, so
fine.
William is our CEO, right? I just wanted to introduce him real quick before, it ended.
Oh, hi, Williams. Nice meeting you. Thanks
Hi,
for
Ibrahim. Thank you very much.
amazing work at ProDev. Amazing, amazing, amazing work. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And thank you for the session.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, bye, guys.
All right, bye, everyone. Bye-bye.